Hey folks, well this might turn out to be a serious video. I've got some interesting things they seem interesting to me, talk about. But first a little update. I'm working really hard making videos. It's been working out pretty well, and I'm a little disappointed because when things work out well I get kind of like bored. So I'm going to move on to the next step. I'm making these educational videos now locally. I'm going to start on the medical college admissions test videos, do that locally, but then also begin to do that nationally, internationally on the web. It's on the web now, but locally for classes and shit. It's a lot of work, but it's kind of fun. It's based on what I used to do with Rare Reviews, and the whole stuff about going big time is kind of cool for me because it's a real challenge. Even though I'm going to get some help with it, I want to learn how all the details are. I had a business once before manufacturing shit. And you have to manufacture shit? Yeah, you do. You can't just push it out your ass. You got to do stuff. You got to package it and market it and all that shit. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that. It's a neat challenge. And I'm not really doing it like for the money. I want to make a lot of money, but I don't want to make as much as I could make because part of it is just being fun. It's just, I don't know, it's the way I've sort of been. And with these reviews and stuff, I was making a lot of money because people were purchasing it like right before the test, like at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., shit like that. And the test was at like 10 a.m. and they couldn't get any benefit out of that. And I thought, should I change that? Fuck, man, I'm making money off it. And I said, no, I can't do that, man. They can't even benefit. I said 10 p.m. is the deadline, I don't know if I really lost sales. Maybe they're just buying it earlier, which makes sense. I had somebody buy it at 9:59, a minute before. But anyway, I'm just trying to show you what a great guy I am. Anyway, also, too many anyways here. Also probably too much coffee because I'm talking really fast. But congrats to Paul on the 5,000 mark. Also, JC, I will get back to you soon. Sorry, it's been a few days. To the Love Helix, I'm glad you love the hat. I love Pickler in Pink. I love Pickler in Pink. That could be a musical, right? Yeah. And also, a few folks have asked about my dad, JC, one of them. He's okay. He's on the third round of chemo. They keep changing him when it fails. But he's having other health effects, probably due to all the poisons that they're putting in his body as side effects. But as far as the cancer goes, they've been able to hold it at bay with actually remissions. So that's a good thing. But the way it works is 5-year survival rate for what he's got is 20%. He's at the 2.5-year mark. Eventually they run out of therapies, and then they got nothing to stop it because, that's stage 4 lung cancer. So anyway, but he's a real sweet man. We have a good time, and we went to the NASDAQ together, and we watched some good play, and it was fun. So anyway, the thing I was thinking about was nelliediddle made a really good video about prayer and saying, that it won't do any good and all. And I kind of like the video a lot, and I agree with it, except what happened to me is that a gal that I tutor for the medical college admissions test, MCAT, looked at me with a funny kind of look, and she said, I'm going to start going to church. And I knew what she meant. She meant she's going to be praying that she does well in the MCAT. She says, I haven't gone in a long time. And she kind of looked at me with this funny look because I don't know how people know. I don't wear it on my sleeve, as I said to the stealth badger. I wear it on my scrotum that I'm an atheist, okay? So no one could see it except those special people. But yeah, people just kind of know that, I don't believe in God. And they actually apologize to me because I guess I'm older and more of an authority figure. And I teach all these science courses, and there must be some kind of odor I give off that I don't believe in God. And they're all apologetic about it. I've had a whole bunch of people. I think it's because of that relationship in tutoring, because of my age and stuff. It's kind of a funny thing. And a lot of people really don't believe in God by the time they take all those science courses. I've only met a few people that have, and they're all apologetic in front of me. And I don't try to be a hard ass about it. But anyway, so the advice I gave to her with almost immediately, I said, yeah, that's a good idea. And, the thing about that is that I mentioned to her, not that it was a good idea. I didn't say because prayer works, but prayer does work. But I explained to her that, yeah, there have been studies. Here is Mr. Science again, and it's true that, and I didn't say that prayer doesn't work for people you pray for. I just mentioned the part where that prayer does have an effect, positive results when people are doing various types of performance, whether it's a test or some other type of performance, that performance can be statistically measured to be improved when you do something. Now, it can be a placebo, it could be prayer, meditation, whatever, but the interesting thing about it is that as far as placebos, you don't have to believe in them for them to have a benefit. But they didn't have the statistics of whether the benefit is greater if you do believe in them. I suspect it is, and I suspect with prayer that really does work. She obviously didn't really believe in it by her look and stuff. But I said, yeah, that's good. And I meant it quite sincerely because she was hiring me not as an atheist, but as a tutor, and I think it was good advice. But it led me to some other thoughts, and one of them, and I'm sorry I don't have the citations because I'm really fucking busy, and I just, but it was in Science News within the last 2 weeks, so you could do a search. It was talking about free will, which is also something that came up in Nicotine's 2 video, but it wasn't Nicotine 2, it was Contra whatever, I don't know, whatever. But because all these thoughts of mine are like racing across the universe with something with a winning love tour super torpedo, I don't know. So anyway, what they did was they tested people by suggesting in various subtle ways that they do not actually have free will. And I very much doubt that anyone has free will. But essentially what the deal was is that those that were given information to suggest that they don't have free will, when against a control group where they either didn't or suggested they did, tended to cheat on examinations when given the opportunity with greater frequency. And the interesting thing about this is that I guess what I'm looking at is the notion that when we hold certain beliefs that are perhaps irrational, they have various behavioral consequences which can be beneficial. Obviously, they could be non-beneficial too. But the interesting thing is irrational beliefs, which I think the belief in free will probably is irrational given all the evidence. But that's kind of not the important part, whether it's rational or irrational. The important part here is that there can be a discrepancy between what makes sense scientifically and what makes sense psychologically. And I think that's completely obvious. There are folks like Christopher Reeve who believe that he would walk again, but the scientific evidence was almost totally clear that would never happen. But that belief, or FDR that believed he wasn't even paralyzed, that's what he told people. He did not believe he really was completely paralyzed. It was a case of denial, and I think he wasn't just saying that to people. He actually believed that. And these kinds of beliefs obviously helped people. So I think it's interesting. I don't think it's very subtle or amazing because I really had nothing to make this video out of. The reason I'm making this video is that I'm doing my laundry right now, and then I have to get back to work making these videos, and I probably would added more to this and all that kind of stuff, but anyway, on to the Nicotine 2 Contra whatever I forgot thing about the brain. He was basically saying we have to be very, very careful when studying the brain because the mind, we're studying with the mind, the neural connections are, I think that my mind is neurochemical, and but it's neurochemical things and whatever. But maybe I should have thought about it some more because my original reaction was, yeah, but that's true for everything. The mind is how we interpret the entire world, and so I don't think it really matters. He was making the point that we need to be especially careful when viewing the mind through the mind's eye, because we're open to various kinds of deception. And I suppose that might be true, because what is experiential might not be factual, and that kind of ties together with all this crap I'm talking about here. But it seems to me that could be true equally true for everything else that we do. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I haven't thought about it a lot. Anyway, I think the laundry's about ready, so thanks for listening to me ramble, folks. Take care.